Absolutely. What's happening, everybody? A little bit about myself before I get started. I wear glasses. It's true. I'm not ashamed. I keep them right here on my face. You know? I like wearing glasses. The only thing I don't like about wearing glasses is a lot of times people will ask me to try them on. And I never want to let people do that, but I need to be liked by everyone I meet, so I always let them. Here's an annoying thing. If you don't wear prescription glasses and you put on a pair, you all have the same exact reaction. You go, wow, you're blind, my God. And I'm always like, well, not really, they work. You know, I can't see. But that's extremely contextual, you know? Like, if you were to put my pants on a baby, you'd be like, you're obese, you're huge! Or if any of you were to come over to my apartment later, you'd be like, wow, you're poor, you're very poor. You're a very poor person. I'm in my 30s. I love being in my 30s. It's my favorite decade so far. You start to find the good and the bad of everything. Like, my hair's falling out, but my forehead's still growing. I've also noticed getting older, your hopes and dreams begin to plateau, but in like the best ways. Like anytime I see an apartment for rent that also comes with a parking space, I'm like, holy shit, what must that be like? I have to worry about parking? Or anytime I have a friend who says I just dip into my savings a little, I'm like, whoa, savings. Here's where I'm at financially. You all seem like a nice group of people. I'm going to let you in on this. The other day when I was filling up my car with gas and I was watching the price go up and up and up, I was legitimately wondering how much money I could save if I sold my car and bought a horse. I was like, is that doable? How many days ride is Sylvan? Can I make that happen? I did make an important financial decision recently. I bought a money clip. I'm in my 30s. It's time. You gotta be careful with the money clip though, because you have all your business out there for everyone to see, especially with the cash. You gotta be careful with the cash. What I do is I roll it up in a way where all the ones are on the outside, so nobody knows about those 2 sweet 5s. I also those are just for daddy. Celebrated a pretty cool anniversary this week. I'm 4 years in therapy this week, which is pretty nice. Yeah, give it up for mental health. Does anybody else who's in therapy have that thing you feel like you gotta go to a second therapist? So you can talk about how much you want to sleep with your first therapist? Is that just me? Okay. I found out something interesting the other day. My therapist doesn't go to therapy. She doesn't see anyone. She's in charge of my brain, but she doesn't get hers looked at. It's a little concerning. I feel like that would be like if you went out to a restaurant and you asked the server, what's your favorite dish? And they were like, oh fuck, I never eat here. No way. I wouldn't recommend. Anybody here who's in therapy, have you ever zoned out on your therapist? Now, it happened to me the other day. It's pretty brutal. I was talking about anxiety, and she started to give this analogy to me. She was like, well, you know, Dylan, it's kind of like when you start putting water in a bucket, and then I just, I only realized I zoned out when she asked me a follow-up question, and I came back to. She was like, and then what happens with the water, Dylan? And I was like, it's mad at the bucket. I don't like the bucket. She was like, I'm going to send you for twice a week. Here's something I wish that people who took cold showers realized. Nobody cares. You can stop telling us. I have a friend who says, I take a cold shower every morning because if I can get through that, there's nothing else that happens the rest of my day that can be that challenging. And I'm like, boy, you must have the easiest life if the hardest thing you go through is a cold shower by choice. And when do you see the dividends of that? I'm like, sir, I hate to tell you, your entire family's been murdered. Boy, am I glad I took that cold shower. Not so bad. Yeah. It's very bizarre. Very bizarre. Give it up for your bartenders, everybody. Burning the midnight oil in a coffee shop. It's pretty crazy. I bartended for 3 years and hated every minute of it. I was not a fan. Bartending when you don't like it is a lot like hosting a party where you invited none of the people. You're kind of just like, oh, you're back? Hi, hello, come on in. The job wasn't that bad. It was just little things would drive you nuts. Like every single shift, without fail, someone would come in and be like, "Hey man, what's good tonight?" And I'd be like, "We're in a bar." It's the same at every single one. You know, we have beer, cocktails, and Law and Order on with subtitles for some reason. Come on in, take a seat. It was interesting too. It was the only job I had where the customers offered to buy me the thing that I was trying to sell them, which was a little strange. You know, people would be like, "Hey man, I'll take a Bud Light or whatever you're having." I used to work at a makeup store and nobody was ever like, "Hey, I'm going to get this nail polish and here's a little foundation for you, big fella." Cover them pores up. I've never gone to the movies that have been like, "Yes, 2 for Spider-Man, because guess what? You're coming with me!" Let's go. I am thinking about switching careers, though. I'm thinking about getting into advertising because I've noticed that commercials don't even need to be for the thing they're advertising to us anymore. I was watching TV the other day, and this commercial for Verizon came on, and it had these 2 women standing on camera, and the voiceover goes, "Why, Becky and Jessica chose Verizon." And then Becky and Jessica tell this thrilling story about how Verizon gave them tickets to see Jason Mraz, and they even got to meet Jason after the show. Oh my God. And then the voiceover goes, "With Verizon, you can access over hundreds of concert tickets." How's the service? Can I call? Can I text? Is there data? I've never been buying a phone and been like, what kind of concert tickets come with this phone? I feel like that would be like if I went to a brain surgeon and I was like, "Can you fix my brain?" And he was like, "What if I told you I could get you a $100 gift card to the Olive Garden?" That sounds nice, but my brain, do you think you can fix it? I don't think you're listening. You could just get the unlimited salad breadsticks and still have $94 in there. All right, fine, we'll just put the breadsticks in my brain. I understand perfectly. Got anybody dating in here tonight? Dating? Anybody dating? You two. All right. Wasn't prepared for that. I don't know what to say. Congrats. Yeah? Oh, good on you. You look like a happy couple already. This is the first date? Oh, okay. I was going to say, it doesn't look promising. Just kidding. That's just completely mean. I'm so sorry. You meet on an app? Not in person? Candid, very nice. I'm on the apps, but sometimes I like to do things the old-fashioned way. Put on my nicest shirt and go out to the bar and get turned down in person. It's fun. It's a good time. I was scrolling through Hinge the other day, and I found this woman on there, and I was scrolling through her profile, and it has all those prompts on there. And one of the things was a fact that surprises most people about me, and she wrote, "I'm adopted." I'm like, "Who are you telling you're adopted?" And they're going, "What? You're adopted? You don't look adopted. Your family, they seem so genetic." I don't mind the apps. It's the time we live in. The only thing I don't like about them is anytime I have a date now, first question out of my friend's mouth when I tell them that is, "Do you have a picture? Do you have a picture of this person?" Which always makes me uncomfortable, because if it was like 15 years ago and I told a friend, "Oh, I'm going on a date tomorrow," and they were like, "Do you have a picture of this person?" And I did. That would be the creepiest thing that I could take out of my wallet. You guys want her walking to work? There she is in the park with her friend. There she is calling the police. I was grabbing some drinks with a buddy a couple nights ago, and a few beers in, he goes, "Hey, Dill, your top 5, go." And I was like, "What?" He goes, "Your top 5 women, let me hear it." I was like, "I don't have a top 5 women." And he goes, "What are you, gay?" I I was like, no, I'm straight, but I'm also not in 8th grade. I don't sit around ranking women in my free time, let alone women I'm never going to meet. Like, when is that going to come back to me? I meet Terry Hatcher. No way, you're number 3. She'll be like, what? I was like, I made it in 8th grade. Get away from me, Terry. That's how I would be to Terry Hatcher. Get away from me, Terry. But that is the sexual ego of the man. We always think there's a chance, you know, with the ladies. Like, are there any guys in here? Fellas, when you were a little kid and you were alone with another friend's mom, were you ever like, we're fucking? 100% this is going down. Sure, she's married, she's a successful lawyer, he's a doctor, they have 3 kids, she cannot resist this 4th grade boy. How could she? But it's nuts. We have like a whole bunch of stuff being thrown at us growing up. Like, did anybody's dad have porn in the closet growing up? My dad did. Behind the ties in his closet, he had 3 softcore porn that was just, some of the best VHSs you could get your hands on back then. I started watching these in 5th grade. And I would sit there watching them, and like, I didn't even know the word masturbation, let alone what it was, and I would just be sitting there with the biggest boner, like, doesn't get any better than this. I can't think of one thing to add to the equation that would move this along nicely, you know? But then eventually, when I was in 7th grade, I figured it out. Oh yeah, you get it. Burn this hand after this. But it did. I figured out. I started touching myself, and I remember. We all do it. I hope you should do it. Not here. Don't do it here. I don't have the mouth for them. I'll stop. But I remember the first morning going to school after touching myself successfully. I was so arrogant and cocky. I remember sitting in my history class, looking around and being like, I had sex last night. These virgin losers did. I also remember like wanting to someday maybe be a father and thinking I could run out of sperm, so I was like, all right, Dylan, this is just an every now and then thing. Like, we're gonna be doing this all the time, buddy. I did get caught looking at porn in 5th grade. Well, it wasn't porn. I found a horribly photoshopped nude picture of Britney Spears on the internet when I was home alone on the family computer. And I hit print, but nothing came out because it was the 90s. Purchase didn't work yet. And so I waited for like an hour and nothing came. So I left. I went over to my buddy Peter's house. I'm there for 20 minutes. His house phone rings. And he answers it, and he goes, it's your mom. And I go, hey, Mom. And she goes, come home right now. And I was like, but I just got here. She was like, you need to come home right now. I was like, all right. So I go back home. She pulls me into her room. She holds up the nude fake photo of Britney Spears, and she goes, what's this? And I was like, nothing. She was like, this is not nothing. What is this? And I said, it's Ashley's, who's my sister. And she goes, Ashley wouldn't do this. This isn't Ashley's. And so I got punished and, sent away. 10 years later, my sister comes out of the closet as a lesbian. So all I'm saying is my case still stands. And my mom owes me 2 weeks AOL. Hey, you all were so much fun. Thank you so much. Give it up to Stan. Have a good show. Dylan Fisher, everybody.